Hello, world.
Hey,
Welcome back to Part of the Politics
we here.
Podcast. Season 2, episode 37.
37.
Also known as the 1 year anniversary episode. Hey.
1 year.
Let's go. Let's go.
We made it.
Let's go.
365 days of doing the pod.
Yeah.
And we've only been kind of canceled. Only kind of canceled.
Only kind of canceled. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Man, good sir. Congratulations.
Man. Congratulations to you, man. And congratulations, brother. We did it. We did it, Joe.
Bro.
We did it, Joe.
Now, did I think this first year was going to go like this? Absolutely not.
Bruh.
Absolutely not. I had far different plans.
Bruh. I definitely thought that it was going to be a much smoother ride, pause. But it has been a very chaotic journey from a content perspective. But man, we're blessed, bro.
We're incredibly blessed.
Incredibly blessed to have done this for this amount of time.
And thank you all.
Oh, bro. Yeah, before we continue.
Thank you all that from all over. And, G's and I were talking before to think that after 1 year that we would have the listeners that we do. If you're listening to this, you're likely in one of 22 different countries across 300 plus cities, every continent. We've had listeners in every continent in the world, except
talk
maybe
that talk, bro. Talk that talk, bro. Talk that talk, man.
Every continent.
Yes, sir.
From Istanbul to Armenia to Singapore, to Sweden, to Bulgaria, Japan, Finland,
yes,
Ghana. We've had listeners in Iraq and Egypt.
Bruh.
To our listeners are from Vegas to Oregon, all across New York,
yes,
Georgia.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Georgia, one of the major states that continue to hold us down.
Yes, sir.
Man, thank you all so much. We do this for you all, and thank you guys for sticking with us. And if you are new here,
yes,
welcome to the chaos.
We welcome you once, we welcome you twice, we welcome you 3 times in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Thank you. But thank you all for rocking with us and sticking with us.
Yes, indeed, man.
And this has truly been a pleasure. And to what Jeezy said, we are incredibly blessed. And
we are, man.
It never ceases to amaze me. We talk about it all the time. We'll release. We release these at midnight on Monday, and before I get up and go to work, I'll check the stats. And to see that we already have people listening,
yeah, man,
all across the nation and in different countries, it's humbling for me, to know that y'all get up every Monday or Tuesday or whatever day you get up and listen to the pod, and y'all say, you know what, I wonder what Manny and Jeezy have to think about this subject, and y'all listen, and we don't take that for granted.
Not at all, man. Not at all. It is definitely a blessing, and for me, it's just is amazing because, like, to your point, Manny, to know that someone tunes in, every week to hear what we have to say about something means a lot. I had one person that listened and said, "Hey, man, I really don't listen to the mainstream media. I look for real people that I know and can trust to give me their opinions or give them information." And, they said that, hey, you guys, I can trust that, you're not going to force feed me your ideas, but just be real about what you see in our world. And I can really appreciate that. And it makes it easier to digest knowing that you guys are just 2 stand-up guys just giving your opinion, but you're not trying to sway one way to the left or to the right. You try as best as you possibly can to shoot it straight down the middle, and I can appreciate that. So that was just a testament of what we do. And I will say, not only to our listeners, but shout out to our families, because they allow us the space an opportunity to do these recordings. We both are present, active Black dads with
Mm.
families that we support, and our wives and our children depend on us to be there to support them. But they also support us by allowing us this space to be able to come together, record, to take however much time we need, and even listen to the
Oh
content that
man.
we have. And that can't go unnoticed as well too. They allow us that space to be able to do that. So shout out to our families, our wives, our children,
Yes.
that give us what we need to be able to keep the pod going, man. So shout out to them. So yeah,
Well, now that we got that out the way.
man. I told Manny,
Wait. Before we even go further, we're gonna say it again at the end of the pod. But y'all, we've been going strong for a year,
for a year,
and we're taking next week off.
bruh. Next, I'm telling you now.
We're taking next week off.
We for those that are faithful, when you don't see an episode next Monday, I don't want you to think that the boys have quit. I
No.
don't want you to think that. I don't want you to think that Cash Patel
came
and
and
the
got us.
DOJ done came and got the boys. We honestly need a break because I mean, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
That we have even endured this much to go a year.
Right.
And you guys don't know, but sometimes in that pre-show, man, me and Manny come on and we like, bruh.
And you know, and I think I hope you guys hear the intentionalness that we try to talk about everything.
Facts.
But as crazy as this last year has been, we've talked about a whole lot of subjects. There have been a lot of other things that we just haven't talked about due to time, subject matter. And let's be real, all that ultimately takes a toll.
Oh,
you
facts.
know, the amount of content, both negative and positive, that we go through to produce this pod, it takes a toll, and we're gonna give ourselves space to kind of process everything. If anything, this last week showed us that it's time for the boys to just take a minute and recess. So we will be back.
Yeah.
Look, if y'all give John Oliver the space to take 2 and 3 weeks off, y'all give one. Y'all can give
y'all
one.
Give
for
us
the
a
boys.
week.
Y'all give us a yeah. Now, if something crazy pops up, like excessively crazy,
bruh,
we may slide through, but
we pause. But yeah,
as of right now, we're gonna take next week off. We will be back. So the homework that I'm giving all of our listeners, y'all go tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yep.
That the boys will be back week after next.
Yep.
And if you're new here, use this last week to catch up on any of the 53 other episodes that we've put out since then.
Yep.
We got a lot of stuff out there.
And if you're faithful and you've been with us from day one, or you've been rocking with us for a while, take a break with us too, because it's very imperative as citizens in this country, or just in politics in general. Sometimes you need to disconnect just a little bit. So just as we do the same, or we're gonna try to at least.
Yeah.
You do the same as well too. If you've been rocking with us and holding it down for us, holding it down with us for a while, take some time for yourself too, because it's a lot, and it can definitely weigh on you. So take that time if you need to reset, so you can be engaged. So, man,
all right,
now we got that out the way.
So we were talking last week, and I didn't know what we were going to plan to talk about this episode. We had no plans, but if we did have plans, they'd have gotten thrown out the window.
Thrown clean out the window, bro. I think that, bro, first of all, I was telling somebody that I love having a podcast, a political podcast, but what we're getting ready to talk about was one of those moments that I was like, I really hate that I have to come talk about this. Not from the standpoint of just the magnitude of what happened. I just was like, God, I hate I got to talk about this. But that's the duty that you have when you host a political podcast.
Right.
So, as we all know, this past week, on September the 10th, Charlie Kirk was killed. He was murdered at the Utah Valley University. He was holding an event. Actually, I believe it was the kickoff of his
Kick off his tour.
American comeback tour. It was the first stop on his campus event, American comeback tour, which I think not too long ago he just got off of a tour, because I know that
Yeah.
he had been going around to these universities a few months ago, and looks like he was just kicking off this next one, and where he was debating students. We all know Charlie Kirk for, his debates, be it on college campuses or
Mhm.
online, or at random, media events or what have you. But he
I
was,
mean, and he was so well known for doing this. South Park did a parody
yeah, yeah.
of this.
Which South Park now, because we have all seen the episodes, or we have seen the episode. South Park has actually pulled the episode down,
Yeah.
in light of the passing of Charlie Kirk. But he was speaking at this outdoor event, and he was actually at the time debating a student about mass shooting. Um, and he was struck by a single bullet to the neck. Now this was, I couldn't believe it, and this is probably where I'm gonna bring up the first thing I want to say,
Yeah.
is that times have changed so much with social media that I can't believe. It's crazy how we actually witnessed, seen this thing take place. And I
Yeah.
remember in the group chat, I remember just sitting in my office at work, scrolling through. I want to say it might have been Twitter. I might have been on. I think it was Twitter I was on, and I see it like the videos from far away, but it was the
Yeah.
video, and I'm like, yo, Charlie Kirk just got shot. And the numbness that I felt seeing it, and then after everything died down, I was like, why do I have access to see this?
Man, so give y'all a little bit more view on the inside. In the group chat, I'm known as the one that is always
Bruh.
5 to 10 minutes late.
Yo, man, for our listeners, y'all, I want you to know we could be
to the
we could be like,
to
hey,
the to the
LeBron
common
James just
person.
got LeBron James just signed with the Lakers. Mania come, we'll have a whole discussion about it. Mania come in the group 15 minutes after the conversation and ended. Hey, y'all know LeBron got traded, signed to the Lakers. We're like, bro, you ain't seen the 60 notifications that we've been talking for like the past 15 minutes.
Bruh. Bruh. And because I just got out of a meeting
Mm-hmm.
and one of my coworkers, he's like, hey, you have a political podcast, right? I was like, yeah. As I grab my cup and take a sip out of it, he's like, oh, do you see that Charlie Kirk got shot? And I was like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
What? And he shows me the video, and I'm like, to your point,
Yeah.
what? And again, I saw the faraway video, and it had
Yeah.
to be no less than probably about 4 minutes later
Yeah.
that I saw the close up video.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I remember taking the close up video, posting it to the chat,
Yep.
and then like 2 minutes later, I deleted because I'm like,
I
this
saw
is
that.
wild.
I saw that because I actually clicked it as soon as you dropped it in the chat, and then by the time I saw, I was like, "Yo!" And I came back to the group chat, and you had deleted it out.
I was
And
like, because I ain't put no this like it
yeah,
was that vivid,
yeah,
that gruesome
yeah,
of a video that I was just like, yeah, I can't just throw this out there.
yeah,
Like even in our political group chat,
yeah,
where
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
we are more prepared. Like because I didn't do it in our large one, but it was like
yeah, yeah,
our political one where I think we are more ready for
yeah, yeah,
something
yeah,
wild. Even at that point, I'm like, this is wild.
yeah,
And to your point, the speed of which it circulated,
bro.
it
Went
was everywhere.
wild. Bro, I couldn't even get away from it,
Right. Man, my TikTok timeline, the
bro,
algorithm is still trying to adjust.
bro. And
But I'm like, man, it was literally like watching a horror movie.
yeah,
Except I knew that this was not a horror movie.
yeah,
This was real life. To which this is my first soapbox of this.
okay,
Meta, you canceled you took down our accounts
bruh, bruh.
for absolutely nothing. But
Mm-hmm.
y'all had videos of someone literally being murdered
Yep,
circulating at speeds that are ridiculous.
bruh. The likes of
And
which no man has ever seen.
it had to be, I think it was maybe like an hour or so
Bruh.
after the announcement of his death that I started seeing censored versions of the video.
Yep.
And I'm
Now,
like,
and so mind you, if that's the case, that was definitely hours after.
hours.
So it had circulated for hours nonstop.
And I don't think humans are made to deal with the constant trauma that we've been
Bruh,
dealing
no.
with for the last 5 years.
Bruh. And that's where I would, but it's wild because after the initial, I don't know if I want to say shock, but after just the initial processing of what happened, once I kind of came down from that, I was like, yo, this is this is wild that we are seeing this, and so many people are retweeting it, reposting it, as if this is okay for us to be looking at. So then it led me to the point of like, as a society with social media and the way things circulated, we have, I don't know if we've become desensitized, but we certainly have become comfortable with exposing ourselves to trauma.
Right.
And that's not okay.
Well, it's like we clickbaited ourselves. Like
Yeah,
everyone wanted to be the one to show it. And it's it, why are we like this? We should not be like
bruh.
this.
Thank you, man. And that's why I was
We
like, bruh,
should not be like
I even had
this.
to look at myself. Are you okay? Because
Right.
because this ain't okay. But as a society, there is not a single person who has not seen this video.
Which
And to
is
think that,
insane.
which is very insane, that this is even okay. But what social media should be with censorship, that certainly should have kicked in at some point. But by the time it did, it was too late.
And I think if you look over the 5 years, these last 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
I think if you look at most of the content that we've seen that is like this, it has usually been within the it's it's usually been within the context of a police confrontation.
Yeah.
From what we saw with George Floyd
Yeah.
to every incident with the police, that body cam
Yeah.
video being shown, it was always within that context. And I think it
Mm-hmm.
just years and years and years of us seeing it and consuming it. Have we been desensitized? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Do you remember when the first Saw, when that came out, and
Oh, bro.
everyone was like,
Society
"Oh
was
wow, that's
like,
too
yeah, no.
gory." Oh, yeah, what are we doing here? We have lost our way.
Yep.
If you took someone from 2003 and dropped them in 2015 and said
Bruh.
this was just shared freely on the interweb, on Al Gore's interweb,
Bruh.
they would lose their mind. They're like, "Wait,
Bro.
what?
Why do y'all, what is
Why?
wrong with y'all?
What do y'all need a hug?" Like, and it. So to your point,
Yeah.
it took me a bit to like
Mm-hmm.
wrap my head around. Wow, we just
Mm-hmm.
watched the entire country just watched somebody die,
Yep.
get murdered
Mm-hmm.
in live and living color.
Bruh.
And then as soon as my mind wrapped around the like, wow, that happened. My mind then went to, oh man, there are political ramifications of
Bruh.
this happening.
Bruh. This
And
was mm,
I I think the political ramifications of what we just saw happen, of what we saw happen, we are going to be unpacking for the next several months at a minimum.
bruh. The way that this, well, when this happened, and we had no details of how it happened, who did it, where. We had nothing. We just knew that
Nothing.
this we the man wasn't even pronounced dead yet.
The news was and I think that's the other danger of all this is it was moving so fast
Too fast.
that we were getting, and like I feel for media organizations, I do and I don't at the same
Yeah.
time, because it was moving. It is also one of the first news stories that we saw that was truly moving at the pace of social media.
Mm-hmm.
And what we saw during this time period is media outlets report something and then retract something
Bruh,
and
it
then
was
report
nuts.
something and then retract something. And especially the environment that we are in, we have to we should be able to trust our media organizations to put out vetted information, but also at the pace that it's trying to report at the pace of social media. And I think you get yourself in immediate trouble
Yep.
if you try to do that. I
Yep.
know just running the Twitter, the social media for this pod, me and Jeezy went back and forth on what we would post, what we would not post,
Yep.
and we stopped literally at the he was shot.
Yep.
Y'all
That's
saw
it.
y'all saw nothing more because it was moving too fast. It was
Too
moving too
fast.
fast, and too many mistakes were being made.
It became very, to me, it became very nasty
Mm-hmm.
because, to your point, everybody was trying to be the first to say something, but everybody was wrong.
Everybody was wrong.
Everybody was wrong
Right.
trying to be the first. And I'm gonna say it. What really got me is soon. I mean, the man hadn't even made it to the hospital yet.
Right.
Some radical lunatic left person. We don't even know who. Man, I heard so much left and right. I just decided I just want to be trans directional. I ain't left or right. I'm center.
I'm gonna stand still. I'm gonna stand still in this moment and not move.
I'm trans directional. I identify as center. I ain't
Right.
got no left or no right because it just was insane. And so, in my opinion, to his family, so insensitive
Oh
to
God,
start
yeah.
throwing blame, and we knew nothing. Even like that older white guy
Mm-hmm.
that
They caught the subject. They released the
yeah,
subject. They caught another suspect. They released another suspect.
which was wild in itself. But everybody, oh yeah, this guy, he's a Democrat, so and so. I'm like, how y'all know that man? Y'all just seen the man in
43
handcuffs.
seconds ago.
43 seconds, and y'all know that he a Democrat already. Oh, he's a
Right.
left, he's this, he's that. And then he got released. It wasn't even him.
Now look, if there's one thing the Netflix documentary "Don't F with Cats" taught me,
Mm-hmm.
is that the internet is smart and the internet is going to move fast.
Oh, they move
in
fast now.
investigation. But y'all, Al Gore's internet was moving too fast. Y'all were moving too fast. But it's like, how do y'all know these things?
Yep.
And this is where, speaking directly to Twitter, like this is the problem with people being able to pay for blue check marks.
Yep.
Because if you look historically, that blue check mark meant that you were a political official, you were a news organization, you were somebody that could be trusted.
Yeah.
I know some of y'all like, hey, don't y'all got a blue check mark? Yes, we do. we yes. I'm just gonna say that. Yes, absolutely. we got one.
I was about to say when you started, I was like, "Oh, don't we got a blue check?"
Oh yeah. No, I'm absolutely.
But we ain't like them other people did. We are not them.
I will say that I am deserving of a blue check mark, Mr. Elon. If you're listening, I was a candidate, and y'all never gave me my blue check mark.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say at least I should have a blue check mark. But still, that should we be able to buy that verified ability? No. There should be another color for that. But there should be something for the media organizations so we know who to
Yep, to
trust.
stand out, to stand
You
out.
you have the gray check mark for government agencies. I think that's a great idea.
Yep,
Something needs to be there for certified media organizations so people
yep,
can very quickly identify who is what.
yep. So, but with this going so fast, the thing that just the first thing that just got me, well, I should say the second thing, because the first thing is, and regardless, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, regardless of if you agreed with Kirk on his stances, opinion, views, the man should not have been murdered for that.
Absolutely not.
No one deserves their life to be taken because of whatever their views may be. I don't care how good, how evil, how I don't care. I don't care where you're at.
Right.
Nobody deserves for their life to be taken. In my opinion, I do not give the life. I don't have
Right.
the ability. I should not have the ability or should not have the right to take it. That is solely up to God and God Himself. So certainly that is not what we should do. So that is something that should not have happened. But my second thing that bothered me was just the danger that came with rushing, trying to put partisan blame
Yeah.
to try to,
Scoring your points.
yeah, this man just died. Why are you trying to politicize it? You know, they had Nancy Mace, uh, ready and quick to jump to blame the Democrats. I've heard that a couple of times. This is the
Mhm.
Democrats' fault. This is the Democrats' fault. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
There
If
was no suspect.
the man, we didn't get a suspect till almost 2 days later,
Right.
and we'll talk about that. But he ain't even a Democrat.
Well, and here was my questions in the immediate when it happened. I in my head I was like, and started processing the ramifications. I was like, is this politicized,
Mm-hmm.
or are we about to unfold a completely different drama?
Bruh.
Did Kirk mess around with somebody's wife or some other partner?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it one of these scenarios? Is this a larger coordinated thing that we now have to
Yeah.
be worried about? What is going on? Did this person just know there was a large crowd of people and Timothy McVeigh style wanted to just
Yeah.
cause chaos? Just knew that there was a large group of people sitting, and it we reacted so fast, and people were so loud and
Mm-hmm.
so wrong that it's and when you are an elected official,
Yeah.
I said it when I was on the campaign trail. I continue to believe that now. As a leader, you have a responsibility
Mm-hmm.
over the people who support you,
Yep.
hands down.
Yep.
So to be out there to be that loud and to be
Mm-hmm.
that wrong
Mm-hmm.
on a myriad of issues, not just talking about this,
Yeah.
I think people need to keep in mind that when it's all said and done, your apology for being wrong
Mm-hmm.
needs to be as loud, if not
Yes, sir.
louder.
But to that point, that's not going to happen because people were first going to say that this was a Democrat, and they tried to somehow late again. Suspect was not in custody. Somehow he was linked to being transgender. Like, bro, it was
Right.
just wild. And when you have these elected officials, even down to the president, when the
Yeah.
president came out and said something, I mean, that was what really has gotten me about all of this is that this has happened because we keep pushing ourselves further apart.
Mm-hmm.
We keep trying to make it you either are left or you're right and we're enemies. And when you have a president who had no known knowledge of the suspect, no details except for this man had passed away, he was murdered, and then he ultimately comes out and blamed the Democrats, that's putting fuel on the fire.
Right.
and you're in the position, in the elected position, whether you are a Republican president or a Democratic president, as far as your affiliation, in that position, you are a president for all.
You
And in a
gotta turn it down.
bruh, you got to. And for him to come out and in a moment, which we've talked about before, where Trump has these moments where we see that he may potentially be presidential, he dropped the ball on an issue that I think that would it may have done anything? I don't know, but he could have certainly tried
Yep.
to say, hey, we don't, even his base, his people, hey, what has happened is a tragedy. But
And
let's not point
everyone can agree
fingers.
that. And
Everybody definitely
everyone
can agree with that.
I
Everybody
mean,
can agree with that.
the man and it came out later that Charlie Kirk's wife and kids were there.
Yeah. Like,
And
this is tragic.
this is complete tragedy.
Yeah.
But you have a responsibility of toning it down. Like, even
Yes.
if you feel like that, not saying whether how you felt was right or wrong, because that is a personal debate. You have a responsibility right now to calm everything down.
Calm it down.
Because you cannot think rationally. No one
Nope.
makes great decisions when they're in fight or flight.
You're exactly right, Manny. And you have an obligation as the leader of this country to do so. And you didn't.
You didn't.
And we see it flaming up as far as the hate is even more now because you see on social media people holding visuals for Charlie Kirk, and within that they're having rallies where they chanting "white men fight back" and all this stuff. And there's a whole nother group of kids or people that are more far right extremists.
Yeah.
This is not okay, and his death should not be used as fuel for the flames of division that have already been sown in this country.
Right.
What we should look at this moment and say, hey, y'all, we gotta, everybody stop right quick. Everybody just, regardless of what you believe, everybody let's
chill out.
Let's just chill out. Let's just chill out real quick. And let's get this thing back in the center, because we are acting like barbarians at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are acting like barbarians, like we are not humans, like we are not people. So let's chill out. But that moment is, unfortunately, man, I don't foresee that moment coming. I really think, to what you said earlier, we are in a bad spot, bro.
And it's a constant. You just think this year, this is, and this is probably an understatement, third high visibility act of political violence. So first with Mr. Kirk, the second with the representatives in was it Michigan or Wisconsin? Where's Walt's from?
Michigan. No. Walt, you talking about that ran with Kamala?
Yeah.
Minnesota.
There we go. The Minnesota state reps that were the husband and wife that were murdered in their house, and the other set that were also shot, but horribly hurt in this year.
Yeah.
And it's like we keep escalating and escalating and escalating. And I'm gonna be honest, I think some of this has started years ago. But I am especially concerned about the speed of acceleration that we are dealing with, especially now.
Yep.
Because of COVID. Going back to COVID, I think we as a country have ignored the long-term implications, not of COVID, the disease, but COVID, the attempts to stop it, and our move where we were isolated more in that 2-3 year period than we had ever been. Sending people online, looking for sources of community, and finding those in the internet, and then adding on top of that the need for monetization of social media platforms and trying to keep eyes on their sites and on their apps
Mm-hmm.
that now take content and constantly become giant echo chambers. And in that echo chamber, just constantly feeding back that more extreme content over and over and over again to the point that you cannot humanize the people on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of all that, our political leaders simplifying complex political issues
Mm-hmm.
to a them versus us, which is
Yep.
A, lazy,
Lazy as all get out, bro.
extremely lazy,
Bro.
and B, extremely dangerous.
Bro.
Because the more you simplify these complex political issues,
Yep.
the easier it becomes to make it us versus them.
Yep. Because
Combo with everything else, making that dangerous echo chamber.
because man, that's an excellent point that you make. Because I love on social media. I forgot what the name of the two guys that go around interviewing people, but the simplifying those complex issues is such a problem because most of the time people can tell you they'll tell you why they don't like something because if I'm a Republican, my first thing to say, oh well, it's something that the right is trying to do, and then when you go to that next tier of thought,
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, people can't tell you anything about it. Oh
Right.
well, I don't like this because the Democrats. Okay, well, what do you not like about it? They can't explain it because it's
Uh,
complex and it's been simplified. That oh well, if it's stamped by the right, then I can't like it if I'm on the left. If I'm
right.
on the left, I can't like it because it's stamped on the right.
Yep.
You can't if in this world that we have to coexist in and have to really have serious dialogue on these complex issues. You can't simplify these things. What you can do is stop being lazy
Well,
as a
it's not
representative.
that you can't, it's that you shouldn't.
Yeah,
Is
thank
that
you.
you should.
You shouldn't. But what you should do as an elected official, why don't you have town hall meetings and explain to your people these complex issues? Why don't you go out and really try to educate? That's the problem in politics no more. There is no education no more. It's just, hey, we don't like it because it's right. We don't like it because it's left. And nobody questions in this society, well, why is it a left thing? Why isn't it
Right.
a right thing? Why can't I agree on that?
Right.
I'm on the left and you said not to. Oh, okay, sorry. Like
It's so tribal at this
bro, yes it
standpoint.
is. Yes it is, man.
And unless we have intentional leadership
Yep.
that steps in and says, we're not doing this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I ran, one of the questions I would get is if I was pro life or pro choice. And my response would be, I'm pro life, but let's have the conversation.
Yeah.
What
Yes. Yes.
what is it for me? What does pro life mean? That
Yes.
we need to be doing everything that we can to take care of that child and support that child's life in the womb. But it
Mm-hmm.
also means we have to take care of that mother's life and the situation they're coming into.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that child gets here, we have to take care of that child
Bingo.
as they progress through life in
Yep.
terms of making sure there's healthcare
Yes.
infrastructure and education and infrastructure, and there's economic infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
And that also spurs all the way down to if that person commits a crime. I'm pro life. So you know what that means I'm against? The death penalty.
Yep.
The
Yep.
death penalty.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, well, how can you do that? Because I said I am
Pro
pro
life.
life.
And man, that's such a beautiful way to put it because in our society, that became such a heavy
Yeah.
topic in the political scene when it came down to voting. And it will be funny to me because I hear people say that they're pro-life, but then when somebody commits a murder, kill them dead.
No.
Kill them dead. I mean, just like the guy that murdered Charlie Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
People were saying, I seen somebody talk about, man, and it was wild. This dude, he identifies as on the right, But he went on this long rant that we should do this, and he shouldn't be fed, and then we should bring him out on live TV and shoot him with the same gun that he shot Charlie
Wow.
Kirk.
Oh,
And
wow.
anybody that knows him, that he, or no, he said anybody that this young man has agreed with that was a Democrat, you should bring them in and do the same thing to them. And I'm like,
Insane.
but then he said he was
Insane.
pro-life. There was a video years ago where he was talking about how he was pro-life, and I said, "Well, wait a minute.
How are we supporting lives?
I thought we were support
But
life." It is just, Manny. It is this to me, and I remember saying it in a group chat. Outside of the a fact that this man has lost his life, and this family has lost a loved one, this is not good for American politics and just America in general
it's
at
not.
all. At all. I really don't know where we're going. But I
But
know we're going somewhere fast, and I know I don't want to go where we're going right now.
well, and I think uh, we're seeing in some levels of leadership now, and we'll start talking. Well, I'll first start with Thomas Massey, who's just like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, we got to tone it down.
Yeah.
We got to tone it down. We got to stop,
Mm-hmm.
kicking up the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the end of the day, you individually as a person have
Mm-hmm.
to make the decision. And I think what we were talking in pre-pod. I said that it didn't sound right.
I'm
So
gonna let you slide with it, but
in pre-production, so much times I've heard over this last week, we're better than this. We're better than
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Individually, I truly believe that we are all individually better than this. Now is the time that we have to collectively, as a
Mm-hmm.
group, prove that we're better than this,
Yeah.
because that's where it gets dangerous, because
Mm-hmm.
people lose their identities once they become part of a group.
Yep.
So you have to individually take that responsibility to the group
Mm-hmm.
and show that. And you got to bring it down. You got to stop trying to score the political points.
Yep. Yep. Because at the end of the day, what is it worth? We always say it in the group. What is it profit of man to gain the world and lose his soul?
Lose the soul.
That's what's happening in politics right now. And this is a very dangerous game to play. And you're right. There have been people out. I listened to Mike Johnson. The speaker was on. I believe he had an interview on CNN, and he talked about it. He said some of the same things that Matt said. We have to calm it down. We have to calm it down. We're better than this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we have to move this needle in the right direction.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have, but my thing with Massey, with Johnson, and anybody else, we really need our leaders to speak up and to get this thing under control. Because if you choose to use this as a moment to amplify your ideology, your viewpoint, it becomes very dangerous. And I think we're seeing a lot of that. In some instances, Charlie is being uh, held up as a martyr,
Yeah.
as he died for the cause. And I have a issue with that because what is the cause? What
Right.
is it that what is it that you're saying that he was trying to achieve, that he died for? Now, I will say this, outside of because there's been a lot that's going on social media. Um, Before I say this next thing, I want to say this: if you are applauding, celebrating the death of another human being, you're just as much of a problem as the person that you're disagreeing with. If you're saying that Charlie Kirk was a problem, you celebrating him losing his life and his family losing a loved one, if you're celebrating that, you are just as terrible as what you claim or profess this man to be. I don't care how evil you may think that he was, how some people called him racist, some people called him many things that they thought he was. I don't care if, and I don't care if he was all those things. You don't.
That's not that's for the good Lord to sort it out. That's not on me.
Bingo. I ain't got no heaven and I ain't got no hell to put
But
nobody in.
nobody.
All I know is that when it's all said and done, our
We
works is what we have.
we all got to stand before him and give that
Stand
account.
before. Oh, that's all. That's all that you can do. So I can't put anybody in either heaven or hell. It has bothered me that people have celebrated the death of this man. He has children. Regardless of what you agree with that he said or did, there are kids that are going to grow up without their father.
Mm-hmm.
While you sit here and spew your hate and still have yours.
Right.
Nobody took your parent, but somebody took theirs. Regardless of if you agree with this man or not, there's a wife that now is a single mother that has to bear the responsibility
Raising two children.
of raising these two children. And if you are raising you're raising your kids with your spouse and still have them but celebrate that she has lost hers, regardless of your opinion, you're wrong. That is wrong. Now I will say this. What has bothered me is how he has been put on a platform as a martyr and darn near characterized as Jesus H. Christ Jr. They've acted like this man went around and I'm just going to say it as if he did that much good. We've talked about it. A lot of what Kirk did was not him. You know, they say about how he debated, and part of debating, in my opinion, good debating is conversation with the approach of actively listening to what the other person's views are. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie didn't do that. Charlie went to prove his point. I don't think that he ever actively listened to anybody. I think that if you fell in line with what he believed, then you saw a different side of Charlie. But certainly if you were on the opposite, you didn't get the same Charlie.
Right.
And to put it into a point where he, they're talking about laying him to rest at the state.
Right. That is reserved for elected officials.
But wait a minute. The two people that were elected officials, or excuse me, the elected official and his wife that were killed in Minnesota.
Right.
Why didn't they get the same treatment? They're elected officials. Why? Why is that okay? This man, and again, he is entitled to his own opinions, his own viewpoints. I've talked to people before and that have been downright racist people, and I love them with the love of the Lord. I have no ill will and wish no ill will on anybody. But I'm certainly not going to act and say that Charlie said some hurtful things, man.
Right. That people were moved, as many people as that were moved positively by the things that you said, were just as negative.
And we got to stop mixing truth with opinion.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
And no, to that point, starch debater. But you never really change anybody's mind by making them feel stupid.
No.
Never. People do not care about what you think until they know that you care. Yeah. And that's how you have a true, long-lasting conversation and true debate. You have that empathetic understanding of this person X feels way Y about issue Z. Mm-hmm. And now that I've understood those three parts, I can now have a conversation with you about how I feel about X
Mm-hmm.
based on my position A
Mm-hmm.
because of B. And it's that understanding. Um, and we don't, and that's the problem with political debate that we see. Well, political conversations, quote unquote
Yeah.
conversations, is that they're not really conversations that we're having in this country. They are
Not at
political
all.
debates. They
That's it.
are a plaintiff and defense trying to
Yep.
prove their point to the jury, which is now social media.
Yep.
And the jury votes by likes, comments, and retweets or repost. And a healthy conversation usually isn't that exciting. You know,
Yeah.
I in 2006, I want to say 2006, there was there I was in a documentary for PBS called oh man, I forgot the name. The New Deciders. Sorry, the New Deciders.
Mm-hmm.
And it was me and another young black Republican and three people from the Black Lives Matters movement in Greensboro.
Mm-hmm.
Geez, we were in that conversation for about 2.5, 3 hours.
Sheesh.
If you go watch that conversation that they played back in that documentary,
Mm-hmm.
it's maybe 30 seconds.
Oh, that's wild, bro. How do you edit a 2 to 3 hours into 30 seconds?
Oh, because it was vibes, man. Like when
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
get a group of people coming together to
That ain't
have
trying
a
to debate.
conversation. Oh yeah, like
Yep.
I think in
They're
their
trying to have
head
a conversation.
they made a thought like, oh, these people are going to debate each other.
Yeah.
Now
Now
everyone
we gonna
showed
talk.
up. Yeah, everyone showed up really trying to understand where everybody was at,
Yes.
and
Manny.
we were
Mm.
like, oh, okay,
That's what it's supposed to be.
oh, okay. So y'all are
Yes.
and that is conversation. And that is what we're lacking,
Lacking.
especially in this moment. We want to debate. Everyone wants to score the
Everybody want to
point.
debate.
You
Yep.
want that 10, 15, 20-second clip of,
Mm.
oh, they got that. No, we got to understand where the person is. And you don't have to like where the person is, but
Mm-hmm.
you got to love them where they're at.
Yep.
You got
Bingo.
to, man. So in all this, I think back to, how great God is.
Yeah.
And when he had Moses go up to Mount Sinai, gave him the 10 commandments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would think God knew what was going to happen. So
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say one of the angels. If I was one of the angels, I'd be like, oh, the people only got to do 10 things.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. They can do 10 things.
They can do 10. I got 10.
Bro, we did not have 10. We did not have 10. We did not have the 10 so much that God's saying that Jesus had to come down and say,
Bruh,
hey, y'all,
I got
I understand that 10 was real hard for y'all.
I thought 10 was gonna work, but
But
obviously
apparently,
not.
so let me
So let me
simplify it
give you
for you.
one.
Let me give you two. You will have no other God before me,
Yep. Yep.
and to love others
Yep.
like you love yourselves.
And
And
we
guess
still can't
what?
do that.
And we still can't
Still
get it
can't.
right. What is it? Where is the love, GC?
Bruh.
Where is the
Bruh,
love?
where bruh. I don't know, bruh. So that's because that's another thing about Charlie. Charlie was, and I'm not judging nobody's walk because again, I have no heaven or hell to put you in,
None.
but I do know what I have, and I have Jesus Christ,
I do.
and I also understand not just from what I've read, brother, but from my own experience that when you have Christ, the transformation power that comes from
Mm,
that allows you to move a certain way. You can't move, brother, you can't operate but a certain way when
hmm
you truly have Christ within you. When I see people posting pictures on social media
Bro,
of Jesus Christ hugging Charlie Kirk,
Bro, how
We are
many
so weird.
how many bottles of pure drinking water have been destroyed by AI coming up with different videos
Bruh,
of Jesus and Charlie Kirk?
they
And
have
it's a
a
lie.
video. Bruh, it is extreme. First of all, we, bruh, I just got to say this just because I know it's going to piss somebody off. First of all, y'all getting these AI videos created with a white Jesus is wrong anyway. Go read your Bible. It ain't going to
Yeah.
say nothing else.
Man,
They got him walking in with Charlie Kirk walking through the gates with a Budweiser American flag button up
bruh,
shirt. Bro, I was like, yo,
bruh.
this is too much.
It
But
was,
I say that because whether his faith lied wherever it did or not, in all the positive, like you said, that he's done to those that support him, I look at a lot of the negative that he's done as well too.
yeah.
And while we say, he was this and he was that, where was that love for those that he negatively impacted? Because I can disagree with you. There are some issues that I do not agree with that I'm not going to spread on this podcast, but there are certain things in life that I don't stand for. Doesn't mean that I don't love those people that are within that. I may not believe in I don't own guns. I'm not a big gun person. I think there needs to be reform on guns. I don't agree with our gun laws. But if you're a person that loves guns, I don't got a problem with you. I love you just as much. I might not agree with your stance, but that's not going to allow me to treat you any different,
Right.
not to love you any less. When you have someone that said things that uh, Martin Luther King was terrible, a terrible person. When
Looking at
you,
you, Mark Robinson.
bro,
But the
when you
beef, the
have
beef,
someone,
it's a forever beef, man. It's
bro,
forever beef.
it's always up in the stuff.
It's always up in
When you
the
have someone that says um, that when that civil rights was the worst thing that happened to black people. When you talk about how black women have low processing minds or something of that
Yeah.
nature, when you talk about if you got on a plane and saw a black pilot, it'd make you question whether or not he was qualified. Like those are things that sure they resonate with your base, but how have you negatively impacted these people you talked about? I have
Right.
never once got on a plane and thought to myself, well, let me go check and see if the pilot white, because they might have just
Man.
let him get to be a pilot just because he's white. I never thought that. I'm assuming that if he's a pilot, he's qualified. Like that type
And
of
also knowing
rhetoric,
the fact that most pilots usually come from the military. So
bruh.
if you can fly an F-16, guess what? You can probably handle this
You
Boeing.
can get me to Vegas.
You can get me to
Me to
Vegas.
Vegas. That's all I'm asking you to do. Land this mug in Vegas and smooth. That's
Right.
all I need. But to me, and what makes me think about this, man, and I'll end here. I don't know if you've ever seen this. An older guy, I can't remember his name, but he's an older gentleman that goes around on college campuses and he basically professes the gospel.
Oh, like that one guy we got on Fifth Street.
Oh no, he that dude was a fraud. This older man is legit.
Okay. Okay.
But he does something similar to what Kirk did. He goes around the college campuses and there's a large gathering of people and he professes the gospel. And there's some tough conversations, but one thing about him is that when he says, "Okay, yes, you're living in sin. Yes, God doesn't agree with this." He does so much in a way of love that there's never any
Hostility.
if there's anyone that walks away from that situation, it's the person, but it's not him. There is no hostility.
Right.
Never once has he been approached in a hostile manner. Certainly not in a position where someone's trying to end his life. But this man handles that difference with love. And I can't say that those that do this, Charlie Kirk is not the only one there. He comes from a group of people. Candace Owens is one of them. She's the same way. You can disagree with a person, but how you disagree is all in the matter of how you handle that with love.
Mm-hmm.
And it bothers me when we have people that we put on these platforms as, we put them such on a high pedestal in society and coat them around this love of Christ as if they're doing the good work of the Lord, but they're missing some fruit. Because last I checked, the fruit, There's a few things that you got to have, brother, and they ain't fruits. You need all of them to be considered the fruit.
Right.
And I know one of them is love.
Yeah.
And it's missing sometimes, and that just bothers me when we do this. And there's a way everybody shouldn't agree. That's
No.
what makes us great. Everybody should
Yeah.
have differences. But what makes us who we are is how we handle those. And the best way and the best example given to us is what Christ did, is with love. He didn't agree with the Pharisees and the Sadducees, but he loved them regardless and regardless of their stance.
Man. And my closing thoughts on this is you don't got to always call people out.
Bruh.
We need to be calling people in.
Preach, preacher.
We got to call them in. But that goes hand in hand what you said. When you're calling people in, you're bringing them in with love.
Yeah.
You're bringing them in with understanding.
Yeah.
You know how you win a conversation where you are calling people in? That you usually leave that conversation, both sides leave that conversation with a deeper feeling of empathy to one another.
Bro, man, because Charlie Kirk said empathy was a horrible thing. Empathy was a horrible thing to have, and I'm not quoting him directly, but it was something that's horrible that I can't remember the words he said, but basically in a nutshell, he said that having empathy was a horrible thing.
And to that, I will say that people will never remember what you say exactly, but they will always remember how you made them feel.
Bro, that's a mouthful, man.
And if we and if we want to get back to a country that can have the conversations out loud, you can disagree with somebody without making them feel bad about themselves.
No,
you can.
You can't tear people down, man.
Right.
You
can. It's not going to be productive. You can. It's not going to be productive.
You know, while this man has lost his life, and I can't relate to his family because I have not. This isn't something I've ever experienced. But I will say, regardless of what you feel, how you feel about him, we should be sensitive to the loss that his family has experienced. And we should not wish death on anyone, and certainly not a tragedy to this magnitude. Don't wish bad on somebody and block your own blessing. You will never get ahead using the tragedy of your enemies as a footstool.
Never.
You let God do that, but don't you do that.
Right.
So, prayers to his family, prayers to his wife, his children, his loved ones. But I would also extend that to prayers for our nation.
Everyone.
We have got to move this thing back in the middle. And I hope that those that are listening, I don't care. As you know, me and Manny both are from different affiliation. Manny's a Republican, I'm a Democrat. And before we ever even mention our affiliation, I'm sure you probably couldn't even tell that we weren't on the same side.
Right.
But let this podcast be an example, and that's why I love this podcast. Because this serves as an example that while you can be from two different sides of the aisle, that does not mean that you cannot have a bond, you cannot have love, that you cannot coexist together in joy and in happiness in this political climate. You can do it. Me and Manny don't agree. Me and Manny don't agree on every single topic.
Right.
But one thing I do know is that we hear and we listen to each other on every single topic. We listen to each other. So as this is our 1 year anniversary episode, and as we take our vacation, let this podcast be that example of where we should be in America, in this country. Not left, not right, just together.
Just together, man. Just together.
Just together. That's it. That's it. And as Manny said, and we need to don't sell our idea. Make American politics boring again, bro.
Make politics boring again. Let's just make it boring again. Yep. This was a whole lot more fun for me when it was boring and everyone's like, man, this is boring. It was exciting to me. Now it's exciting and I'm like, this is too exciting.
Yeah, bro. I was expecting to have to come up here and do like Schoolhouse Rock and today we're going to tell you how bills work. We're going to talk about parliamentary procedure.
Right.
Starting with Robert's rules. And, nothing boring. It's just all chaos. I really just hope that for the extreme, these extreme groups, movements, they're not to anybody. They are not good for us. I don't care if it's an extreme left or extreme right. It is not good for us. If you want to destroy a country, that is how you do it. These extreme movements that take people from rational conversations and move them into a space where they have drunk this crazy Kool-Aid so much that they just can't make any sense of what American politics should look like. And it should not look like all this craziness that we have now. If you are an elected official, stand up, do your job, stop being lazy, and feeding into all this bull crap. We gotta get back in the middle, man. You can have your differences, but we gotta have differences with love and with grace.
And I think Utah Senator John Curtis said it earlier today. Mm-hmm. He said, I think you need to remove the word radical. Well, I think we need to take the word radical and remove left or right. Radical coming from any direction.
Any direction
is not good.
Yep.
It's not healthy and it should be called out.
I agree wholeheartedly. I'm tired of all this left and right, all this extremeness. Let's just get back to what matters. Having an opinion is fine, but let's do it with love. Let's do it with grace. And let's try to get an understanding because everybody walk of life ain't the same, bro. That's another thing. Yeah. Everybody, my walk in life ain't going to be the same as yours. So my view, I had a conversation with a Republican last year. And it was actually a group that I was working in. And it was kind of cool. I felt like the mediator, but it was a young girl who was a Democrat. And there was this young guy. He was a white guy that was a Republican. And he was like, hey, I voted for Trump. And she was saying she voted for Harris. And then they had this conversation. And I'm just kind of sitting in the middle, kind of mediating it. And the beautiful thing about it is that we walked out of there still cool, walked out of there. And she just was like, hey, look, this is my view because of my family. My family, this is that. My dad's an immigrant, blah, 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 blah. He's like, oh, I can respect that. Well, I voted for this because of gun laws. But no hate. Just an understanding of, okay, your stance is this because it fits your life. Right. My stance is this because it fits my life, and that's okay. I can understand and respect you as long as you understand and respect me, and we can coexist together.
One of my good friends, True Pettigrew from the organization True Access, he would say, in this life, we're all focusing on getting. And he would say, in all of your getting, get an understanding. And all that you get
an understanding.
Get an understanding.
I like that. We gonna have to leave it on that, bro. I like that. Yeah. So
I mean, we did this like old school black church because we've been trying to end this topic for at least 10 minutes.
Bro, I like that. And all you get an understanding. So, for the suspect, I'm not going to talk about him.
Not going to glorify and give him a name.
But he has been he's in custody. They went, I think, at the 33rd hour, and the only way that they got him is it sounded like he told his family, and his family turned him in. He was, just so we can clear the narrative, he was not of the left, as y'all want to call it. He was not a Democrat. His family were strong Republicans, and Trump supporters. They are trying to spew this thing now. They say that he might have had a lover that was trans, but here we go again with.
And why does that matter? Like,
So you mean to tell me they ain't no Republicans? They never mind.
but
Right.
no, we're gonna hit it real quick. There's an organization called the Log Cabin Republicans that are
Oh,
Republicans that focus on
oh, okay.
LGBTQ issues.
I ain't know if you were gonna say it was
From
one of these little freaky ditty groups that was
oh nope
the
nope nope
log cabin, but kind of sound a little wild for the name for a group that support them
but
type of rights.
but no, they are conservative Republicans that talk about LGBTQ issues
Mm-hmm.
from a conservative standpoint.
See, but these radical extreme groups probably don't even know nothing about that.
But and again, that goes back to the fact that these are complex issues. Why? Because
Bingo,
humans are complex.
bingo. So he's in custody. Now I will say this, and I'm not trying to make fun of it, but I wonder if homie would have got away with it had he not opened his mouth. Cause from up to that time, I don't think
There was
until they
nothing.
called, they didn't have nothing.
They had nothing on him.
They had nothing, and the only tip they got was that he told on himself,
Well,
which good for him
yeah,
because if you did something, which it sounds like he might have been church going. He may have
hmm
had. I'm giving away that I'm Southern when I said that church going. But it was apparent that his family were Christians, and he confessed to his dad, and his dad called the youth pastor and helped him out with turning himself in. So
because I heard reports
yeah.
allegedly that he was potentially suicidal,
Oh, okay, okay,
and you know it'll be interesting when all this plays out
yeah.
because here's the other political side of it. Apparently, people within government organizations are not too happy with how Cash Patel dealt with this,
I can
and
see that.
and
I can
the
see that.
allegedly in the last couple months, the head agent in charge over the FBI had left their post after being demoted.
Mm,
And there were concerns about who was leading, who was running this organization from the FBI. And
yeah.
as I understand it at this point, people are not happy with Kash Patel. You know,
I definitely can see that because I will say just seeing how it was handled, he looked way out of his league. Even at the press conference, he looked like, which I don't know. It might have been the coke because Cashby. I don't know if he got some social anxiety or he be on that white pony. But when he get in front of a crowd, but his eyes be
it was
like he
whoa.
be he be on that sugar. He on something, but
It
I can
it
tell it from previous um directors and how they have handled situations. It definitely felt a little overwhelming for him and his agency.
well, and I felt like they also said like we heard a whole lot from the FBI
Mm-hmm.
more than I would expect in a situation like this.
Yeah.
I Yeah, I was not expecting to hear from the FBI in any capacity until they're like, "Yep, we got the person. We got the person." I was expecting near was there going to be press conference? Yep, but I was
Mm-hmm.
expecting a bunch of nothing burgers out of the press
Yep.
conferences. Like that was my expectation of this.
Then they kept pushing them back, and they were canceling press
Yeah,
conference. It was
like
it was messy
y'all got two press conferences a day and maybe a one and
with
maybe
no
one
updates.
with no updates. We're still
Like,
investigating all the leads.
why are y'all
Encourage
talking to us? Go
right,
do some work.
right.
Go
Like
find this man.
go find him. Nope.
Stop talking
So
to me. Well,
it'll,
I did know, I didn't with Cash. I didn't know that he was from Asgard.
bruh.
He said he
I thought he was
Kirk
Hindu.
and Valhalla. I said I didn't know he was Asgardian.
And to tell a Christian man that you'll see him in Valhalla,
Valhalla. Oh,
I was I was confused because
no,
I'm like, I'm pretty
I,
sure that's Norse
bruh,
mythology, but okay, maybe that's
bruh.
y'all relationship.
When he said that, bruh, and bruh,
I
said, you know, he Christian, right?
right, so confused.
And then why are you talking about Valhalla? Like,
You a
ain't
Viking?
you,
I'm confused.
bruh?
I'm
I was like, yo,
confused.
Cass got to be on
Cass,
that.
you wild.
He on that white horse, bruh.
You wild.
That man was seeing. He was seeing Asgard. He said, "Hey, bro, I see you in Valhalla.
It's like
tell
what?
tell Thor I'll
What?
see him soon."
What?
But bro, you know, we'll see where this takes us. Hopefully, when we come back after our vacation, things would have calmed down.
It's probably not, but you
It's
know.
probably not, but
Hey,
if you know, hey, I
hey.
like to think so, but we shall see, man. So
All right.
that's all.
Well,
That's all I got, brother. You know.
I mean, we got a pickle this week. Besides all of us,
Man, I ain't got a pickle for you, brother. It's we all the pickle. We all the pickle, bro.
we all the pickle.
It ain't even no look. It ain't even no need, man. We all in the brine this week
We all
or
the
forever.
pickle. Right. We all the pickle.
So
Oh
yeah,
man.
man. But
Man.
man,
Well, we would before we head out, I do have some quick spotlights that I think we will cover at some point as these
okay,
situations evolve.
okay,
Because stepping into September 10th, I thought this day was going to go completely different than what it did because the day started off with Russia flying drones into Poland.
oh yeah,
And Poland closed down airports and rallied
mm-hmm,
jets out there, and they've now called for Section 4 of the NATO agreement, which is essentially a hey everyone, I need everyone get on this conference call. We got to
bruh.
talk. We got
Everybody
to
report
talk.
to the Zoom meeting.
Right, because we got to talk about what we need to do here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Article 4 is what precedes Article 5, and Article 5 is the collective defense clause. So it'll be interesting watching how this goes. You know, Trump has come out and said that he has some of the strongest sanctions yet for Russia.
I'm so sick of him.
And he will not put them in play unless everyone in NATO agrees to stop buying Russian oil, which I already believe, well, not completely, but so NATO is still continuing to show very interesting cracks. But we'll see how that goes. And I thought we were going to be talking about that. And then a couple hours
Yeah,
later,
that's what I thought,
a couple hours later, we had Big Netty wiling out, bombing Qatar,
bro.
and to go after Hamas leadership, which is a wild move because Qatar holds the largest U.S. military base. And then it came out that Big Netty did not tell Trump
Nope.
that they were going to do that and only did it, my understanding is a very limited time
Mm-hmm.
beforehand because they knew the US would tell Qatar and
Yep.
Qatar would send defenses. So lots of questions there. A, how does Qatar feel about this? What
Right.
does this do with Qatari American relationships? What does this say about the US Israel relationship? Because also on that day, the Hamas government was supposed to be responding to a new peace deal that the U.S. had put together that Israel had already signed off on. And
And I think Qatar already came out and was like, yeah, nah, y'all, we ain't signing nothing. Like,
well, yeah, Qatar's pretty much looks like Israel, you've pretty much killed most of your opportunities to get your hostages free. Because at this
mm-hmm.
point, Qatar was seen as the neutral party trying to help them
Yep.
through this.
Yep. And I
So,
think that also too the Hamas leadership that they were trying to get in Qatar were part of the negotiations as well too. So it's
correct.
like, bro, how you trying to take out the people you
You
like
negotiating with? What are you doing?
Nettie got to be stopped, bro.
Bro, it's it's going to come to that. It's probably
Then
going
it
to
gotta
come
be
down
stopped,
to
bro.
that.
He wild.
So, and then what was it? Probably about 2 hours after, or maybe an hour after the whole incident with Charlie Kirk, we had the shooting at another school in Colorado.
Yeah.
This has been a very wild week.
This was a wild week, but this may have been the wildest week we've had to date as far as the podcast.
Yeah.
And I hope that it gets no wilder than this.
I hope this is the peak.
This is the peak.
It's all coming down from here.
Yeah, let's go back downhill on this because we don't need that right now, bro.
Right.
So yeah.
Man.
Well,
but yeah,
we shall see.
We shall see. But to our listeners, again, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We couldn't have made it this far without you. We thank you again for your participation.
Yep.
Getting up every week and listening to what the boys have to say about things. We appreciate that. Thank you. You know, we will never take that for granted. Yeah.
Okay, we definitely couldn't. You know, you guys have been awesome. Thank you for being a part of this 1 year anniversary. It doesn't feel like it's been 1 year. It feels like it's been longer. I feel like I'm tired, boss. Feel like we've been out here.
I'm tired.
Bruh, that's really what I was gonna start the pod with, but felt like it didn't capture the celebratory nature of the episode.
Right.
But you know, we thank you so much. We can't say it enough. So cheers to 1 year and hopefully many more with a
many more
iHeart contract, Spotify. Somebody want to pick the boys up? Let us know. But we certainly thank you all, and like we say in every episode, that if don't nobody love you, just know the boys here at the pod. We say this and we mean this. No matter who you are, where you are, what side of the aisle you are on, we love you. We love you. We love you. So I'm good, bro. All hearts and minds clear.
All hearts and minds clear. Again, we are off the week of the 22nd, but we will see you guys on September 29th.
We'll see you again. So don't check out on us. Just take your little water break, go in the back, get you some light refreshments, and we'll see you back here at the next episode. So
tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Take care, y'all.
Take care, y'all.